Hey there, we're making chili today with the ingredients that we already have at the house, and let's get right to it. What we have here, if you can see, is ground beef. We actually ground this up ourselves, and it's brisket. But you can use any type of beef you have at home. So you need to put the ingredients in before you heat it up, because if you don't, it'll get too hot and you're gonna have a lot of smoke. There we go. 10 is the highest, so we're gonna cook it up. You can substitute it with any other types of meat, or it can be beans. We're gonna season it with a little bit of salt, generously. You want it to be well seasoned. You can season it to taste later, but it's better to do it now. Get some meat all sweating and some pepper. You know what? I like a lot of pepper in this, so I will be using not one of those hand cranks, but a battery operated one. You don't need to use this pepper as I am using, because I'm a fan of pepper. I'll be using more pepper a little later. Slightly brown if you can. That creates additional flavor. Tastes a lot better than just boiled meat per se. It adds texture, and you know, when things get caramelized outside, it tends to be a little sweeter. I don't know if you can notice, but it brings out a lot more flavor than you typically would. I prefer the meat to be quite brown. It doesn't have to be. If you leave it on too long, sometimes it burns, and you don't want that to happen to you. So be mindful of what you're doing. It shouldn't take long if you're using an induction top, just because they're quite efficient and they get hot really fast. It's unlike glass tops, which I have back there, or you know, gas is good too, but you can control it really easily. But induction is probably the most efficient way. I like gas. Induction is. That's what we're using now. Okay, so it's all cooked. I don't want to overcook it. I know I said I want it a little brown and crusty, but it doesn't have to be. I'm gonna take the meat and put it back in our bowl. I rinsed it once, so it doesn't have any of the red juices. At this point, I'm gonna put it back in the pot, add a little bit of olive oil, or a lot, it's up to you, and turn it back on. We have a medium onion that's been all chopped up. It's gonna go in. It seems like a lot of onion. Don't we all love onion? I think I need a little bit more. It's extra virgin olive oil for those who use it. This is just a bottle. I get a big vat or a tub. I refill these, so I want these to cook until they are translucent. Like it a little crispier, that's fine too. More texture, more flavor. I love the smell of onion. It smells so good. Sometimes you can put a little salt in here just to help the onion sweat a little and season it a bit. I know I put pepper in the meat earlier, but I'm gonna do it again here because spice is life and I love pepper. You know what? Bottom of this pan, you can see it's getting crusted over with all the meat juices, and this onion is kind of deglazing it. As long as you're moving it around, all the goodness that's stuck to the bottom of the pan, you can transfer that back into the onion. So at this point, quite translucent for almost all of them. Not all of them, but it's getting there. So I'll leave it on for a little longer. So at this point, we have a pot here. I haven't used it on induction, so this is the first time I'll be using a pot. So maybe this will work, this might not work, I don't know. But I'm gonna put in the onions with all the render drippings, suet, or whatever you like to call them. I'm gonna put this away, and the beef back in. So what we're gonna put is a can of crushed tomatoes or ground tomatoes. That's what we have at home. A can of tomato paste. Just tomato paste. Oh, will this work? Yeah, okay. We have corn. Some chickpeas. We didn't have any beans or lying around, and this seems like a full pot of things. Seem a little overloaded, but it's gonna work for us. So, you know, I think we already have too much stuff in the pot, but I like corn, so it's gonna go in. Oh yeah. Way too many things for the pot, but I don't care. I don't suggest you do this because this is very, it can get very messy very quick. You can see there's a lot in here. I don't know how I'm gonna get everything together. Maybe when it, oh, is it burning at the bottom? Let's hope not, because that's gonna ruin it. But yeah, let's turn it down a bit to half medium. I gotta go back to my dog because he's struggling. Sorry for the sound. Here's ketchup, and he can't walk, so he struggles every time he has to move, and he kind of squeals. Oh, okay, so it's boiling even at 5. Oh, see, yeah, this is what I was afraid of. You can see a little splatter here already. I was gonna say you can simmer this at low for about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what your stove is like. But I'm gonna do this a little differently today because this is not gonna work. It's very messy already, and I don't like that. We're gonna make multiple batches. We're gonna try to be innovative a little bit today. We're gonna use this. Okay, that's not gonna work either. Yeah, we're just gonna go to the good old stove top using a bigger frying pan, and not gonna use this induction because I didn't portion out well and it was a lot more food than we expected. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. Oh, it's heavy. So we'll move over today and cook it differently. Okay, so I'm gonna push this all the way to hot, all the way to high. Of course it's hot. Try to cook it down. This way is a lot faster than using hot and boiling everything and simmering down everything together, just because it's a wider surface area and it'll cook a lot faster. It would taste better if you did that. I used to use a slow cooker. I don't know where it went. That works well. You can put it on high for 4 hours or low for around 8 hours. On high, you should check after 3 hours to see where it's at. You don't want to check on it too often and open the lid, because then you let all the heat that's built up escape, and thus making your cooking process a lot longer. So this is a quicker way to do it. It'll taste pretty good. Oh, I forgot. At this point, we have this. Yeah, so what's in this spice here, which is a secret to this chili, is spices that I collected over time and added to it. There may be some brown sugar in there, maybe a little bit of salt, garlic, onion, parsley, oregano, cumin. There's just a whole array of stuff, red pepper flakes, and I can really put this on anything and it'll make it taste good. How much of this stuff I'm gonna put in here, I don't know, but we could have used this in 2 different phases, like now, or we could have used it when we cooked the meat and toasted the spice in the beef rendering, which would have made it a lot more fragrant. It's not necessary. This spice alone, like this, is really, really good on its own. So this, to me right now, it actually reminds me of pasta sauce, salsa in sort, rather than chili, because right now it's really thick and tomatoey. I can smell the tomato. Yeah, it's gonna be quite good. You can use this as a dip, a filler, a paste, or just as chili. There's not a lot of liquid in here already, because I'm using high heat, so all I guess the juices are evaporating. I was planning to use a slow cooker today, but I couldn't find it. I think it possibly been thrown away with the move and all. Since it's on high heat, you kind of want to keep on moving so that nothing sticks to the bottom. I know it's a non-stick pan, but you don't want anything to stay in the bottom and start burning, because that will ruin everything. This is actually almost done. What I'm gonna do with this is actually quite unique, and I'm gonna treat it as if it's something else, not just a chili, but you'll see. Got some bread, split it down the middle. You can butter it, put some cheese in it, but what I'm gonna do, this. Yeah, so if you have a convection oven or a broiler, you can even use an air fryer like me. You can toast it. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, so with all that, we finally got finished making this wonderful sandwich sub. And let's give it a bite. This is definitely what you'd say a crossover between a sloppy Joe and a chili, because the ingredients are there, but it's a little more exotic with all the spices that we put in. I can definitely taste the pepper, and it's great. Kind of tastes a little Mediterranean just because there's a lot of chickpeas in here, and the corn is actually quite nice too. So the bun is quite chewy, even though I didn't really toast it anywhere. It got put in an air fryer, so it's crispy on the outside and tastes like as if the bread was baked just today, and it tastes like the bread is straight out of the oven. And the cheese was a little nice touch too. So if you want to make something like this at home, give it a try, and it's very good, very simple, very easy, cheap. You can use whatever you have at home, and it didn't take that long. And you know, when things don't go your way, you can still do it and make it quite good.